Mics are open. Hey, welcome to the SL Aviation Network podcast, episode 9. Wow, I can't believe we've survived 9 of these now. And I hope everybody's doing well today. We're again at beautiful St. Aubrey Airport and back at our home base here for the SL Aviation Network podcast. We have some visitors here with us today, and we're going to have a great show lineup for you there. Let me put up the, see if I can get, there we go. That's not the right slide. Hold on. Here we go. And we're going to do a Fly for Life Expo wrap up today. Fleet Week 2025. If Captain Stenvog shows up from the U.S. Navy Second Life 7th Fleet, she was going to come in to tell us about Fleet Week 2025. Hope she makes it. As you know, Second Life, these things happen all the time. And then Metmes has a very special airport-to-airport review for us today for Newport Bay with special guest Cat Hunter, one of our good friends. And then we're going to swing over to the Builder's Corner with AW. And he's got an awesome review of P-38, and it's going to be a great time. So let me make sure I've got everybody. And welcome today our new producer, Kyle. And Kyle's back over there at the producer's desk. Here, let me get the camera switched on here for Second Life. There we go. And Kyle, welcome to the SL Aviation Network podcast crew, and thanks for joining us today and helping out here. So, and you can talk if you want to, Kyle.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So, and you can chime in anytime you want to add to the conversation. Just because we got you sitting over there in the corner doesn't mean you can't join in. So,
radio, you just break in.
Yeah, just break in. And so we got Hikira seemed to step out for a minute. I hope she can make it back. AW, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. The headache remedy's working, and I'm ready to do another podcast. It's nice here in St. Aubrey. It's always nice here.
Okay, yes. Always sunny, 72, 74 degrees here year round? And or
Yeah,
depending on what you have your wind light settings.
26, 27 degrees C. This is probably a degree C kind of a place.
Yeah, I'd say it probably is. And Kat is here. I don't have text chat up, so Metmes, if Kat's saying anything, please relay that to me.
Yes, I would like to once again warmly welcome Catalina Hunter to our group. Many of you here and in Second Life will already be familiar with her. Today we are introducing Newport Bay, where Kat works. After the video, I will be interviewing Kat. And I am on the way all the days for all these videos. I have 2 other airports now working with, and so we will look further the videos of other airports then. And if I may say something very important, I have the pleasure of pointing out something very, very special today, and I will ask Luke to point the camera on the 2 boards in front of the terminal, if it is possible.
In front of the terminal, okay.
On the right side of your plane.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see him out there now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, wait. Let me get around in front of him. Okay, now go.
Yeah. First the left board, if it's possible. Yes. Cool. On the night of May 14th, 15th, a search for the airfield and airports in Second Life revealed the following. Airports, out of 443 entries, Saint-Aubrey ranked 4th.
Wow.
And for airfields, Saint-Aubrey was ranked 1st out of 41 entries.
Wow.
This makes us
Not
proud.
bad.
And we are happy at Santa Bray is a place to visit for so many people. And it's also the result of everyone's commitment to Santa Bray. And I would like to thank everyone for that.
That's
Also on behalf of Paul and her career. That is the thing I wanted to say.
very good.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
there's a plane
awesome.
landing in the background here.
Yeah, I see that. So, hey, very good. Well, I can see why, this is such a popular place because it's a
Impressive.
beautiful place. And yeah, it's just nice to hang out here. It makes me feel good every time I come here. So, let's see.
Yeah, it's real well
Uh,
done. Thanks.
yes, it's very well done. Okay, so Hakira's back. Matt, does she have anything she wants to say?
Um, if Hakia will say some things, you will write it to me. Maybe she has to arrive first, and I will translate then in the voice.
Okay, all right. And if not, I'm going to move on with the agenda here, if that's okay. If any, does anybody else have anything they want to say before I uh, move on here? Okay. So we had the what was it 2 weeks ago? We wrapped up the Fly for Life Expo again. That was our third one. We're already making plans for next year, and I think it grew quite a bit this year with as far as people wanting to be involved with it and sponsor us, just like Metmes and Hakira and AW, of course, and Mickey at the Pinewood Tank Factory, and we do appreciate that. And of course, Kat supported us again this year. She's been with us every year and provided gift for the race winner and a plane up there, which was very cool. That became a very popular event, the air race thing. So, of course, that will be back again next year. Uh, so I'm going to run
I kept
the.
having trouble with that one high. There's a high gate that's way up in the sky.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could never get over that one.
Yeah, yeah, that gives a lot of people problems there. So you have to loop through it, and I guess that's why it's there. But anyway, I'm kind of running the video here. I don't know. Hold on here. Of just one review of it. Here, there it goes. It didn't want to start for some reason. So, of course, we had all the teams that we had last year, plus uh, a new team with the Blue Angels Combat Sims, not to be confused with the Blue Angels Aerobatic team. Of course, they were there, but we had the Blue Angels Combat team, and they did a demo during the air show. And we also had a combat day, the last Sunday that we were open, and that was a whole lot of fun. And we had battle balloons and war bugs, and then we had World War One planes, and then World War Two planes, and that was a whole lot of fun. That was a new thing that we did this year. Uh, and we raised over 300,000 lindens, which is the most important thing because the reason we do this, of course, is to raise money for the Relay for Life, which is a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society to help cancer research. And also, it helps support families that are dealing with cancer, by providing them transportation to and from treatments and places to stay while they're receiving treatment if they have to travel a ways and all kinds of things like that. So, it's a great thing. And Relay Weekend is coming up. Let me check here. I better look at my calendar. So I'm horrible with dates sometimes. Uh, oh, June the 6th and no, I'm sorry, June the 7th and 8th will be the relay weekend at the American Cancer Society Sims. I think they have 30 Sims, and SL Aviation Network will be there, and we'll try to do a podcast from there if it lines up with our schedule. Uh, but it'll be a big weekend. Lots, hundreds of thousands of people there walking the track. They have a track all around those sims, and you can go and just walk. There's some people that walk continuously, around that track for the whole time it's open, for the 2 days that it's open. So actually, it's open for like 24 hours or just over 24 hours, but it starts, I believe, Saturday morning on the 6th at 10 o'clock, and they'll have
30
a
sims, wow.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty impressive. There's some really fantastic builds there. And of course, we'll have a build uh, there with the SL, or with the Fly for Life group and SL Aviation Network. So uh,
Are you going
that
to be at SL birthday too?
I didn't get a. I had so many things going on, and I didn't sign up. I was going to get a display place there parcel, but I didn't make it this year. So uh, anyway, let me get back to the. Okay, so let's move on down the list. Maybe the captain will make it here to review the Fleet Week. If not, we'll have to have her on the next show. I believe we can have one more show before the actual Fleet Week. But Fleet Week, I can give you a brief rundown of it, and you can check if you go to the SL Aviation Network YouTube page. You can see Fleet Week there. I have some Fleet Week videos. I think I have a whole playlist for the last, I think this is the 4 years it's been going on now. And I've helped support them just about every year. I didn't do too much for them last year, but this year we're hosting the event at Gensil Airport. They asked if they could use the airport for that. So we'll be at Gensil on June the 9th through the 15th. And so that's another thing that's going on here. And I
Is there
wanted
a
to,
marina there too?
yeah, they're not going to have too many. They may have some ships out there, and there's some open water sims out there. So I'm not sure what they're going to have planned. Like I said, I'm just really letting them use the sim there, and I'm not. I'm going to do a party for them. I'm going to DJ the parties for them, but I haven't been in on the event, the planning of the events. So uh, that's why I wanted the captain to come today to talk about that. But so I'll leave that for maybe she'll make it here before we're done. But what else? Okay, so let's go on to our next topic, which is I'm going to turn it over here to uh, Metmes, and we're going to talk about Newport Bay Airport with Cat Hunter. So, Metmes, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you. We have a series of some videos just for remember that, and we try every second week in every podcast to doing a report about an airfield. And normally the airfield we show is also a partner airfield of Saint Aubray. Then today we have a special airport. It's Newport Bay, sorry. And Catalina is here because she is the owner there and the builder of planes and of boats. And as the best, we will watch the video first, and then after that, I would like to ask Kat some few questions. So I beg you, look to start the video.
Okay, here we go.
So Lyra is saying that everyone else's voice is a little bit quiet, but Matt's voice is quiet behind us.
It's what?
Our voice is very quiet.
Quiet. They're pretty loud on me. Let me see. Maybe I can turn you up.
We reach Newport Bay by boat or by plane. Newport Bay is located in the Hollywood real estate area east of Hollywood Airport. And yes, you won't find a tower or service for landing aircraft here. Newport Bay is actually a factory airfield and home to 3 businesses: Hunter Marine Ultramesh, Ship and Sail, and Cruise Bikes. And the location of a success story. Catalina Hunter joined Second Life 10 years ago, immediately became interested in aircraft, and after 2 stops along the way, arrived in Newport Bay with friends in 2019. Here, Cat mainly builds and programs boats together with supporters. But there are now also 6 aircraft. A Conwing L-16. A Project Humboldt 62. A Hunter New Gull E2. A Hunter X-Tall. A Seaplane Hunter S-21. And the latest aircraft, a Pilatus Porter PC-6. Cat doesn't just build aircraft that can take to the skies. Here, every switch has a function, and the PC-6 startup procedure is faithfully modeled on its real-life counterpart. But Cat builds boats too, and they have nothing to hide. There are boats for everyone, for sailing, for fast transport, for fun, fishing boats and cutters. Newport Bay is a success story filled with the passion for flying and designing boats and aircraft. Okay, I think if you have heard the sound too, we are at the end of the movie now. And I will ask Kat some few questions. Since Kat does not want to speak on camera, she sent me a document with her answers to the questions I gave her beforehand. I have taken answers from this document and will read out the questions and answers too. If there's something wrong or if you can't want to add something, just write it in the chat. Is that okay for you?
Matt, I have the picture. She sent some pictures in there.
And Luke and AW, are you listening too?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just wanted to chime in, make sure that I'm not too soft or too loud now. I think Lyra will report back. She said it sounds better now.
Okay.
The mix sounds a little better now.
Okay, then let's start. Well,
I can hear you.
I asked Kat the following question. Shortly after you joined Second Life, you already owned an airfield. What motivated you to get so involved in Second Life flying? And Catalina has said it was actually more of a coincidence and everything happened very quickly. As a newcomer, I somehow ended up at Poppyport Airport on the island of Inauri in Sansara. I tried flying there over the next few days and quickly took a liking to it. As I was able to help the owner of the airfield to solve some performance issues, he gave me full rights to the airfield. Soon my friend Cryptic and I started organizing air races and wing walking there. That was a lot of fun, and we soon joined the NAS, the Naval Air Station. Thanks to our experience with air racing, we were pretty good pilots. After about 6 months, in June 2015, I moved to Eden with Cryptic. We were given the opportunity to build a second airport in Eden, as there was already Eden Gateway Airport there. So we set up our own airport, Tortuga Bay, on Eden Guillemot. From then on, my future in SL Aviation was set. In April 2019, I moved to Blake. Cryptic stayed in Eden and continues to operate Tortuga Bay. I wanted to get closer to the Second Life boating community, so I decided to open a shop 2 sims away from Hollywood. I rented a small plot of land in the northwest corner of the Newport Bay sim. So much for Kat's answer of the first question. Going on. Second question. Your planes are not ordinary. They stand out from the crowd of normal planes. Why do you choose these special planes? And Kat says, I have always been interested in very special aircraft. My first model was the S-21 from the film Porco Rosso, named after the Savoia S-21. Then came the X-Tol, based on a super short takeoff and landing XXL aircraft. Then the Humboldt project, based on a GB-R3, a fantasy aircraft. But I also took on the challenge of building a special aircraft from more recent times, the Pilatus Porter PC-6, a Swiss-built aircraft with excellent stall characteristics. It is used all over the world, especially in areas with small runways. As for the answer of Catalina. Then the third question was, you also build boats and have developed a great deal of expertise in this area. What connects you to boats as well as planes? Catalina answers, I started building boats early on. At Newport Bay, I built more boats, such as the popular Hunter landing craft. But I also built modern yachts and sporty boats. I built things that interest me. If I'm not excited about the model, I couldn't build it. Building a passenger plane would be very boring, so no passenger planes. The same goes for boats. Sometimes people suggest models to me, and I always make a note of the suggestions. I have a big book of ideas and suggestions too. I started flying because I got my PPL in real life in the early 2000s. I've always liked airplanes and flying. When I was a kid, my dad and brothers built remote-controlled model airplanes, and I flew them and occasionally crashed them. I still have all my family's old remote-controlled airplanes hanging from the ceiling of the garage. I sail in real life, so boating in Second Life comes naturally to me. I've developed a pretty good boat engine in Second Life that powers all my boats and also the boats of my colleague Jane. It's Jane from Ship and Sail Boat Builders. So much for Kat's answer to this question. And the fourth question was, how do you think Second Life Aviation has developed over the years you have been in Second Life? And Kat says, I'm not old enough to say how things evolved. However, I've known the mesh rendering format for as long as I can remember, and it hasn't changed much. When the Second Life servers were migrated to Amazon AWS, we had major issues with theme transitions and had to fight hard to get around them. It's always a challenge to keep models working optimally with ever-changing theme and Second Life server technologies. Currently, I update all my models when they need to be updated. Airplanes and boats need to be fun, and places need to be interesting and inviting. One thing is certain in Second Life. Change is inevitable, so in a way, it's interesting to see what the future holds for us. Well, so much for Kat's answers. Well, Kat, I hope I have reported your answers correct. Thank you again for giving us an insight into your work and into Newport Bay. And I give the word back.
Okay.
Any plans on making a PBR texture for aircraft?
This is a question for Catalina.
Yes.
Kat, if you want to answer, I can read it, yes. We all can read it, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Doing PBR on all new models.
That's a good idea. My question is it very different? Is it more difficult to do that? Asking Kat. More work, I see.
The biggest issue I have with it is alpha. It's hard to do alpha with PBR. It takes so many different lines of code just to get it to alpha out.
So you are experienced too in making PBR textures then?
Well, I've made a few, but mostly in trying to script my way around them.
Okay.
Not
Yeah, it's no problem. So a lot of people in Second Life cannot watch PBR textures. Is that a problem for you?
Well, she was saying that a third to a quarter of the users don't use PBR, so she has to make models that use that and also do not. So they have both at the same time.
Yeah, so Cat says the same, to make models that use PBR and also non-PBR. Okay. 2 sets of textures then. So that means a lot of work, I see. Is there any question to Cat? No, so I give the word to Luke.
Okay, awesome. Kat, thank you so much.
And if I may jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Sorry, I'm listening on the YouTube, so there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask if she has any. Do you have any new projects in the works?
Good question.
Boat that will be released next week. That sounds good.
Sounds good to me. I'm more familiar with your aircraft. I'm still, I'm slowly working my way into the boats. I've actually, as a hobby, gotten back into Blake Sea sailing, so that'll be good to try out.
Cool.
Services. Now that's a nice hint there. I'm going to try to guess what it is. Popular with the services guy. How about a like a cutter maybe, or something smaller? I'm guessing.
She can't tell us. She'd have to shoot us, right?
A fireboat, police boat, like one of those boats they had in the movie Sully.
Okay,
I think Luke's mic might be off.
Something's happened here. It's on the stream, but something happened in Second Life. It's on the stream, but it's not here. Yeah.
No, I see the green.
I don't know why it's not working here. Hello, test. This is great. Okay. Let me see. I adjusted something. Maybe I muted myself. No? Huh. Yeah. Oh, great. Okay. I don't know why it quit working here. Hello.
He's coming through on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm on the stream, but I'm not in here, so I don't know. Did that? Oh, I know what it is.
Seems
hold on
we
here.
lost Luke.
Hold on. Did that bring it back? No. How about that? How about that? Oh, here it is. Okay, how about that? There we go. Can you hear me now?
Back now?
Can you hear me now? Okay. I had to.
You're back.
Some of the sound was feeding back through on the video, back through my mic, and I shut off. I hit some buttons to shut it off, and I didn't realize that I killed myself. So.
Yeah, I don't think you were ever lost on the feed going out. We just couldn't hear you in here.
Okay. I've got a message from the captain here. So I'll go ahead and let AW, you want to go ahead and do your builders thing, and I'll talk to Captain here. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to play the video
Okay.
first, or
All right. And I did want to say, since you can hear me now, Kat, thank you so much. You've been a good friend for a number of years now, and we've had several projects together. And again, you've been a great supporter of Fly for Life, and we do really appreciate that and all you do there, and for all the awesome toys that you make for us to play with here. We do, and just keep up the good work. That's all I can say. And you always have really nice, very beautiful airports as well. So we thank you for all you're doing for SL Aviation. Okay, so here comes. Hold on. Okay, there I found it. Okay, here comes your video, AW. Here we go.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Zilted, where I'm going to have a look at the P-38 from PixelVerse. This plane offers a huge number of customization options, which I'm not really going to take the time to look at just because there's too much, and I want to keep this video somewhat brief. But let's jump in, and we'll just see what the cockpit looks like. It's clearly a custom-made mesh for Second Life. As with a lot of the Pixel planes, they have their own way of making instruments and stuff like that. So the first thing we do is we just jump in, and then you notice that AvSitter comes up. And if you're not familiar with AvSitter, the way to make an adjustment is you type adjust, or you click on adjust and then pose. So I'm going to adjust my avatar 10 up, or 0.1 meter up. And the reason for that will become obvious once we actually start. So this plane is controlled by chat commands. So the first thing you do is bat, turns on your battery, and then get your magnetos engaged, and then start engine 1. So it has a few different camera views. If you type C, then it takes you to the static view, which is a little bit close for me. This is the default one, which is a dynamic view, and this is a closer dynamic view. I'm going to keep the C1 view. F for flaps, and the plane comes with a large number of gestures, all of which I am using currently, and I actually don't remember what all of them are, but the first one I'm going to use is the gesture T, and what that does is pitch and roll strength are both changed to acrobatic, which is what I like, and then once we get in the air, I'm going to use the X gesture, which will remove the banking. So the banking is one of the features that Second Life has. Flaps up. And you'll see as I turn, the plane banks, but it also will yaw, and I don't want that because this is going to be fighting. So you press the X, and then you have full control. And if I went to cruise level, it's a slower response, so we want acrobatic. So let's have a look at what we can do. First thing I'm going to do is just get a little altitude, so we're just going to climb straight up for a little while. And maybe try to get to about 350 or so. Over, takes throttle down to about 70%, and level off. Now, there's no individual rudder control from mouse lift. When you are external, it was a little bit of a slow crossing there. When you are external, you can just hold down the Shift key, do Shift A, Shift D. But when you are internal, what you have to do is toggle mouse lift rudder using the R key. So if I press mouse lift rudder when I'm in mouse lift, I can now yaw control. Let's see what she looks like at full speed. So here we go, full speed. This is not quite through that. Pretty quick though. I'm going to say that this is probably north of 40. Let's see the full speed again. It's 100 knots. I think it's about right for Second Life. So in reality, this plane would probably be doing 300 plus, maybe 350, about right, 80 knots. So in reality, this plane would probably be swimming closer to 300 knots. I think that's about right. I think we were probably getting 140. So we had some issues in the crossings last time, but I don't think it had anything to do with the plane per se. It was just random action. Okay, so we've shown that we've got pretty good control. Let's see what our acrobatic flight is like. Let's try a barrel roll. I'm going to pull back on the stick and roll. Not bad. Little pylon turn to come back. Flatten it out. Barrel roll the other way. And there we go. How about a hammerhead? That's up. Drop throttle. Rudder over. We might need a little bit more throttle. Okay. There we go. You're not able to actually do the throttle and controls at the same time. But that's a successful hammerhead, I would say. How about Immelman? So with an Immelman, we want to get up to loop speed. Just 95, 100%, get it to the top, keeping full throttle, and then flatten it out for exit. And then the opposite of that, we want to gain a little altitude. The opposite is a split S. And we'll just go here. We're going to slow down, roll the plane, inverted, and pull with less throttle for split S reversal. The plane has a lot of combat features, so if I say Vice on, that will engage the combat. And probably the most impressive part of the combat for this plane is going to be the guns. There are a large number of HMG loaded 50 calibers in the front. Target over here that actually has a fair bit of HP. that. Let's make short work of that. And yeah, with 5 HMGs, there's not much that's going to survive. We've also got rockets. And the rockets are fired with a gesture of a number. So it's harder to hear. Still broken. Rockets. Didn't quite get it that time. So the last thing I'm going to show you are the bombs, and for that let's climb and see if we can do a little dive bombing. I practiced this a few times, so should work, but there's no guarantee. So I get up high for this. So we're going to just try to drop the bomb straight onto the carrier. Just like the real life P-38. Just like the real life P-38, this thing has it has a dive brake, so the gesture's V, and that'll slow you down a lot, help you maintain control in a dive. So I'm gonna just release that for now, try to climb back up so I can try one more time. Bombs. All right, one last time. We got it this time. Now this is what you want to see. In Second Life, it's better to try to dive bomb straight down. So let's just bomb 1, bomb 2, and there they go. Boom. Okay, vice off. And let's see if we can land this plane. So I'm going to put it back on bank mode, which is, that's the X command. And I'm also going to put it back on the gentle mode, that's the T command. And gear down, flaps. So for this, let's take to about 50% command. Notice this is the first time I flew the plane. You do not want to carry too much speed on landing, otherwise you're going to airman. Okay, master rudder. Throttle a little bit. Down. Back into the runway. Throttle just a little bit more. Up there. That's a little reverse. The real one does, but it's nice that we have that. So, okay, engine 1 off, engine 2 off, flaps up, magnetos off, battery off, and we will exit. I'm going to show you one more feature, which actually I shouldn't have exited first, but so you see there's bombs and rockets. There's 8 rockets, 2 bombs. Like I said, there's 5 HMG machine guns. If you want to bring a passenger, of course there's no passenger seat because this is a P-38, but they've given us the option to have pods, which is, well, it's interesting anyway. What you do is say load P, and then these show up. So if you were a passenger, or just anyone, you just kind of get in close, and then sit here, and then this is where you will ride, right next to the engine. There's no way of dropping these as far as I know, so it does not become a ballistic drop thing for your passengers, but they can actually ride along in the plane. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Okay, I think my mic's back on. Hey, very good AW, and pretty cool plane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun to fly that one, and it was a decent morning. I something with a flight like this, I have to choose wisely the time of day and the type of day to fly it. You know, if you try this at 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern in the same place, you wouldn't make it past about 7, 8 crossings before you had a problem. But
Yeah.
we chose wisely on the timing for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I found early mornings is probably the best time to fly, and if you can, most early mornings, and especially weekday mornings if you can, or real late at night, I guess, too, when the logins are down.
And it's not easy to fly, I think. Seems to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't find it difficult, but I kind of like planes that fly that way. It doesn't fly like my planes, but it's close. So I'm more or less used to it.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all her planes fly pretty much the same, I think. I've got a couple of them, and they're not real difficult. That passenger pod thing's interesting. Uh-oh. Sorry about that.
Well, if I had
Telephone.
featured everything that was in that plane,
Yeah.
it would have been an hour. It was already a long 16-minute video, but if
Yeah.
I had given you everything that was in that plane, it's got AvSitter in it, not just to move the pilot, but it's got AvSitter because it has about 8 different sits that you can do. You can sit on the wing, you can fix the engine, you can lounge around underneath it. There's all sorts of different, kind of lifestyle animations that you can choose in the plane. And somehow they're able to do this without it adversely affecting the sim crossing. With AppSitter, I've always had issues with sim crossing, so I tend to make it go not running when the engine's on. That's my secret to getting AppSitter to work in vehicles is to not use it.
Yeah, that's a good, probably a good method there, because we're having enough problems crossing sims the way it is now. So, and we've had that discussion here, and I'm sure we're going to have it again. About the conditions that have seemed to deteriorate. And in fact, I submitted some feedback when I submitted the ticket to have the Fly for Life Expo regions shut down. That I was not happy with their performance this year. They're supposed to be high performance regions, and it just was not what it had been the last 2 years. And we didn't do. I mean, we had more vendors and things there, but we really haven't done anything that much different than we did the first 2 years. In fact, I cut way down on the museum. And I always tried to keep the scripts down up there anyway. But yeah, it was so they did attempt to make it right with us by giving us some more features next year for free, and so we'll see. Hopefully they'll have things straightened out here. That was, I don't know if you were here back when they introduced mesh, when that first started, and what was that, around 2010, when we had all the problems and you could hardly cross any region, more than 3 or 4 regions in a vehicle without it crashing or becoming unseated or whatever. And that there's a lot of people left, and a lot of key players here almost left, and I can't remember the guy. There was a guy discovered some error in the code or a change in the code on the server that magically fixed it. I mean, like overnight. So, but the sailing community was up in arms, and the aviation community. But
I remember very well.
I've got my money bet on texture cache.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because that's when they did that change. That's when all this started.
Yeah, when we went to the 2048 textures, and if you have a PBR package, it's at least 3. It's usually more than 3 textures, so that's 3 times the square of 2048.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know how many fold increase over. If you had a texture that was 1024, that's the square of 1024 times the texture and the normal and the spec, so 3 max. But with PBR, you could have 4 or 5 at the square of 2048, which is, I think it ended up being about 8 times the amount of data. So just imagine that you have to deal with 8 times the amount of data rushing into a sim, and then you're only going to be in that sim for 5 seconds, and then you go on to a new one.
It's got to transfer everything. Yeah.
Well, it's not the internet that slows it down, though. It's the transfer between your disk, or whatever they call them now.
Yeah.
Drive. The thing that has the storage.
Yeah.
You call it a disk, or hard drive, disk drive, NVMe, whatever. Yeah. Between that and the processor and the GPU, you got tiny little channels, wires, grooves, whatever inside the machine that the transfer between that. That seems to be where the slowdown is. It's what it was in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's where I have.
We will need some new computers then.
No, you could have a supercomputer. It wouldn't help. They need to change the way the viewers are coded.
Yeah.
to deal with the
I
texturing. And
I've got
the
a
latest beta of Firestorm is actually a step in the right direction
is it?
for that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna say I've got a i9 processor, 32 gigabytes of RAM, a 4090 NVIDIA card, two gig internet, and I still have problems. So yeah, it's not the computer's not going to help you with that.
Yeah, most of the time when people have trouble, if they look at a process viewer, you can see there's nothing on your machine that's actually maxed out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I'm
just
barely
stuttering for
maxing it
whatever
out.
reason.
Yeah. Just too
And so
much data
far,
to
the
transfer.
biggest culprit seems to be that the way that they're accessing the texture cache
Yeah.
and the asset cache, which is, I actually am not sure how they define that, because the asset cache is not the same as the inventory cache, at least in the sense of this particular problem.
Right. So if you're just setting on one sim and at a club or creating something and you don't ever have to worry about crossing regions, it's not going to be that much of an issue.
Well, then you
Or
can
you're
set
not.
your cache to be a very large number, and
Yeah.
then it'll just fill up, and then it'll act the way they expected it to work. But
Yeah.
when uh, when they um, when they built this thing, it's not really PBR's fault. I think it's the 2048 textures and the way they're caching them. But when they built the new version 7, I don't think that they really took into account people who literally spend, I kind of figured it out. Like, you can spend 7 seconds in a sim in normal flight, and you'll go to 100 of them, and then each one of those is going to have to redo the cache. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it gets backed up, and it doesn't really work so well anymore.
Okay. Very good. Excellent report there, AW. As well, is there anything else that you have that you want to share as far as?
Well, I wanted to show you a couple of planes. Well, one's a plane, one's a spaceship, actually.
Okay.
I have one from, so I'm just going to walk over everybody's head here. Hope that didn't hurt. I wanted to show you
Ouch!
this is the latest release from PTF. And then I've got something that's a special thing that's coming out that I just wanted to share as a teaser. It's going to be from Alpha Omega, but where is that folder? I have so many folders now. But this is, where did we go here? Yeah. Hopefully it'll res. There.
Whoa. Oh yeah.
Let me just put that up here. So it's rather on the large side. I think this is about 55 meters in width in wingspan. But this it's probably the biggest plane that we've had so far in the B2, and it does have a ton of weapons. So when you drop them, it just becomes a huge thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So the B2 is it's the latest release, and it really has probably the most efficient since the Cessna, and so I was able to make it as efficient, although it's a bigger plane and has more features. So it does have a few more bits of script time. But the first thing I noticed was you could drive this thing across the entire grid, no problem. So I think it'd be a good plane for anyone that wants to do that too, even if you don't ever drop a bomb. But just to keep things very quick, this is the little thing that I told you about.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It's going to be very easy to see. So this is my first spaceship.
Wow.
And this is going to be a gift. If you go to space camp with drivers of Second Life, this will be my gift. So.
When is that? Do they have they set a date for that yet?
The end of the month.
End of the month. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is also armed, and so you've got laser cannons, and rockets. Also has a dual mode flight. So if you just flip a switch, it goes between. This is like airplane mode right now.
Mm-hmm.
In airplane mode, you can do basically all axis. And then when you get tired of that, then you just flip a switch, and then it goes into hover mode, and it's easier to land and stuff. So this is what's coming, and this is going to be a free gift if you complete the quest.
Well, that's nice. That's really nice. I love that. So yeah, I wondered when the space camp was coming up. I hadn't heard anything yet. They didn't have their
one
winter
other thing
camp.
That does, you type warp, and then you put in the destination, and that's in the coordinates in the sim.
Okay, yeah. I've got some
I'll
ships
just
that have
go
that feature.
about 10 meters up.
Yeah.
You submit that, and then it does a little warp.
You go into hyperspace and
So that'll take you anywhere in the sim.
yeah. Cool sound effects too. Almost sounds like the original War of the Worlds.
Oh, from the 30s or?
No, from the
50s?
What is it, 50s or? Yeah. That's cool. Okay, excellent review, and I know Kyle, is that B2 for sale yet?
Yeah, that's in PTF. You can
Okay.
go to PTF Sim, or you can get it on Marketplace if they ever get Marketplace fixed.
Kyle's probably already went over and bought him one, but no, he's still sitting
Right.
over there. I'll have to get me
my
one
piggy
too.
bank. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can demo it at PTF.
Yeah. You can demo it there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can actually fit. The wings are only partially physical, so you can fit there, even though it's just.
Okay. Hello, is anybody here? No? It looks like voice broke on us, so. Okay, I think I'm still streaming over the stream here. We just lost communication in Second Life, so I'm going to drop the podcast here. Thank you, Cat Hunter, for joining us today, and your awesome airport and all your products, your planes and your boats. We love you, and thank you for all you do. Metmes, thank you for another excellent report. I'm looking forward to your next two airport reviews that's coming up here in future podcasts. And Hakira, thank you so much for hosting here at St. Aubrey. AW, excellent product review. I already have the P-38, so I'm not going to go out and buy one, but I'm sure you helped the product sales there a lot, and the B2 probably will be in my inventory by this evening, and that spaceship's going to be awesome. I'll be sure to complete that drive. Kyle, thank you for manning the soundboard and the computer desk. Don't know what happened to her voice, but it's not your fault. First day on the job problems, so thanks again, everybody, for joining us here, and we'll see you all next time.